Hello and welcome to Talk TV. I'm your host, Doug Brendel. Tonight we're not going to have a guest. We're not going to have the usual format that you see here on Talk TV. I'm going to tell you the history of the town of Pahrump. It's been hidden in secrecy for many years. Let's start with the early 1950s, the Nevada test site, and above-ground atomic test. To entice soldiers to volunteer to march into those atomic blast zones, President Harry Truman came up with what was called the Post-Atomic Homesteading Act. And what that act did was it made an allocation of a new homestead to the soldiers who volunteered to march into those blasts. And what they got was an acre and a quarter of land. They got a double-wide mobile home, they got a septic system, a new well, electrical system, and it was located on a portion of the West Nellis Range. That is what this area used to be called. It was a portion of Nellis Air Force Base from the Spring Mountains to the west. I don't know the exact size and layout of it, but it was the West Nellis Range. So we had the American military building a government reservation for these people to live if they so choose, for free, as a gift. Thank you for volunteering. We had no idea how dangerous this would be. As it turned out, they didn't drop dead by the thousands. But what did happen is that human beings are possessed with what is called the zombie gene. And if you carry the zombie gene and are exposed to high levels of radiation from an atomic blast, there is a very good chance that you will transform. The first signs, they thought that people were dying. It was a very calm death. What was actually happening was they were in their pupa state for becoming a zombie. They go into suspended animation. People think they're dead in a very short time, but hopefully it's not too long, or you will get embalmed and you will get buried. But these people looked like they were falling dead in their sleep or just dying. They found out that they were in a suspended animated state. When they woke up is when there was the greatest danger. Because if these people got too riled up over something, they could then slide down the scale and become a real flesh-eating, mind-craving, brain-wanting-to-eat zombie. Yeah, it got pretty scary pretty quick. And what the government found was they could keep all these people together on this reservation. And the way the reservation got its name is from two government documents. The first one being one that everybody knew about, the Post-Atomic Homesteading Act, with a lot of ballyhoo and, hey, isn't this great? The second document whereby we get our name was very top secret. And it was called Radioactive Undead Military Personnel. R.U.M.P. And no one's ever figured out where we got this silly name. Some of them still remember P.A.H., Post-Atomic Homesteading. Yeah, it was a great thing. It became very secret after that, and you couldn't get out here. Yeah, it used to be guarded. And it used to work for a long time. But eventually, developers came, and the cat was out of the bag, and it was a nice little community. And the people who moved in here and bought up land and everything else, they had no clue as to who a lot of their neighbors were. I am here as a caretaker along with many others to see to it that they do not slide off into full-blown zombie. And the way we do that is to make sure that they are not getting riled up. That's how it happens. These people, the zombie gene makes you a self-righteous person. You get self-indignant. You tend to be Republican, even libertarian. I know, I'm a libertarian, so I've been trained to recognize the signs. Vincent Cargosi, he's a libertarian. Anyway, that self-righteousness is about 100 times what it is in the normal person. When it becomes irradiated in these blasts and you become a zombie, you may not watch afternoon judge shows. You may not watch Jerry Springer. You may not watch Maury Povich. You may not watch reruns of Cops. Anything that makes you jump to your feet and shake your fist, it's out. And you know that. And it's good for you, and you're glad that we tell you. Anyway, we do health and welfare checks on these folks, and I would say a good 95% of the time, it's just a nice, pleasant visit with some friends. They're glad to see me, I'm glad to see them, and they're all doing well, and see you again in 6 months to 12. All good. It's those occasions where it goes wrong and goes wrong in a hurry. I'll tell you about that later. Anyway, make sure you're watching in the future for our brand new show hosted by Vincent Cargosi, my fellow zombie caretaker. It's going to be called Psychosis Television for the Disturbed Mind, and we will feature science fiction and horror flicks from back in the day. It's going to be great. Stay tuned.